yeah. I say yeah. Mm-hmm. It's your boy. Let's play this fucking trash ass game. I don't play this shit, nigga.
This is Game 7 of the 2025 NBA Finals, and we are indeed in overtime. Yeah, it's no surprise
Should
for a
I have to
series that
pick
has gone the full 7.
the
Now
gas?
in double
Should I pick
overtime
the
to decide
gas?
it. MP has
Should I
been
pick the
carrying his
gas?
team. You have to think the team will once again look to MP, especially if it comes down to taking the final shot with time winding down.
Washington, we're going to switch here. Harden's checked in.
We got this, all right? We got this on defense, all right? Let's make sure we stay locked in. Nothing silly.
You got it. No silly mistakes. Let's go. Game 7. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
They Clippers jerseys. By the cop one.
What's up, Coach?
You brought us this far. Now take us home.
Come on, Coach. I was born ready.
And we are underway again here. Greg, less than 3 minutes to go.
This is the moment you can only dream of.
Scoopity-doo.
MP has
Scoopity-doo.
a chance to get his team over the proverbial mountain.
I don't play that shit, bro. Fuck that shit. Alright, bros. We're just gonna walk through the roster and shit. See what's good. Let's turn this trash ass music off. I can't stand this shit. We got Clippers right here. Yeah, they did. They didn't really have good off season. They somehow let PG go. I'm not sure why they did, but yeah, this team's gonna be pretty ass, except for Kawhi and Harden. But they got a pretty good bench. But yeah, it's a really big downgrade for them. 76ers, they have a good team. They got some. They got PG, of course. They also got Caleb Martin, Eric Gordon, and good role players. They somehow still have Kyle Lowry. He's like 40 years old, but he's still pretty quick. From the playoffs, I saw him last. They signed the French dude that dunked on LeBron. They also drafted Jeremy Kane. He's pretty fruity, but he's a really good player. Low key might be one of the best players in the draft. They got the Bucks. Nothing really changed. That's a funny picture of Middleton. Let's go to online, see what the starting lineups look like. I didn't even get to pick my team. You know what? I don't want to search a team. I don't want to play a game yet. So let's go through this. Let's go back to here. Where were we at? We're at the Bucks. Nothing really changed with them. They got Gary Trent. Nobody really noteworthy that they got in the offseason. I don't think they're gonna make. They got Josh Primo. What? Oh, that's AJ Johnson. Nobody really noteworthy that they got, so I don't think they're gonna win the championship. The Bulls, I don't know why they haven't traded Levine yet. I guess he's too much money. I think he's getting paid like whole bunch of money. Where's his contract? Anyway, he's getting paid like a bunch of money, so this Kobe White's nice. Vooch is getting old. He's not as good as he was on the Magic. They got Josh Giddey, Lowe's young kitty. He low key might be nice. Lonzo can't fucking stay healthy for if his life depended on it. They got Ayo. This guy Matas Buzolis, he's gonna be nice. Other than that, trash ass team. Cleveland Cavaliers, they haven't gotten better. They got nobody in the offseason. They still got my nigga Ty Jerome. They got Jalen Tyson, he might be nice too. And Monty Bates, they said he was supposed to be like the next KD, but trash. These motherfuckers might be going to the finals again. They got Lonnie Walker. That's an underrated signing that they just signed him, I think this week or last week. And Baylor Shireman, he's gonna be nice. A good role player for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make it back. We mentioned the Clippers. The Grizzlies are my sleeper team. It all depends on John Moran if he can stay healthy, play like MVP style. But this is my sleeper team. I think they're making the playoffs this year. I really think so. They got a pretty good bench. They don't got a power forward per se, but they got Marcus Smart from last year. And Gigi Jackson, I always thought he was going to be nice, and I was right. Atlanta, they're not. They lost DeJounte Murray. They suck now. Nobody noteworthy that they added. They got the first round pick, but he's like a role player. I think he's not going to be anything special. But I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think he's going to be anything crazy. I was just surprised that they haven't traded Trey. Trey Young's only like 25 years old, but he's been in the league for like almost like fucking 8 years, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. So that's crazy. Still got a lot of upside with Trey Young. The Miami Heat didn't get any better at all. They didn't really add any pieces. They still got Jimmy Butler. He used to be like a 90, but now they downgraded him. Bam Adebayo is getting older in age, but he's still good. Tyler Hero is overrated. He's a good shooter though. Terry Rozier, not too good. Jaime Jaquez, he has to take the next step, but he's still nice. And that's it, pretty much. Nothing crazy. The Hornets, they're still a bad team. They still got LaMelo. Brandon Miller's, he's nice. Averaged almost 17 points a game. They got real trench baby over here. Mark Williams. They drafted Tijan Saloon from France, so he's like really tall and French, so he could probably play good, probably help them out a little bit, but this team's not going anywhere. Damn, they still got Taj Gibson, bro. That's crazy. That nigga 40 years old, bro. The Jazz, they're not a good team either. They still got Lauri Markkanen, but I think he had a little bit down year last year in terms of stats. Colin Sexton is still nice, underrated player. John Collins is not what he used to be when he used to be in Atlanta. Walker Kessler's a good center, but he can't shoot at all. I don't know how you're white and you can't shoot, bro. That's crazy. Keontae George, pretty good spark plug. Jordan Clarkson can score whenever, but he's more of a six-man. I feel like this team's not really doesn't really have a good direction. They got Cody Williams. I think he's gonna be nice. I don't think he's gonna be good as his brother, but I think he's gonna be nice. The Kings got De'Aaron Fox. They still got this duo going. And they got DeRozan. I think DeRozan was supposed to be at 88, but I think they downgraded him a point. I think they'll be middle of the pack playoff team. This team's pretty good. It's just they don't have any rebounding. That's every time I play with this team, it's like nobody can fucking play defense or get a rebound. So I think that's what this team is missing. They need some but that's the whole point of this team is just offense. Lego Knicks. I hope we make the finals. Hopefully, Mikal Bridges can be what he was on the Nets. 20 points per game, plays good defense. I don't think he's gonna score 20 points per game, but hopefully, I think he's a pretty durable guy. Like he stays healthy, so that's all we need him to do. And Julius Randle, I feel like we should have traded him a while ago to get some pieces for the bench because our bench is not that great. I don't really care about Miles McBride. I'm glad we were able to sign Precious. I think he's underrated. But we don't really have any good backup point guards. We don't got like that spark off the bench like a Jordan Clarkson we could have used or somebody in the offseason we could have got. But we need some scoring on the bench. But let's see what happens. I have a pretty good feeling about this team. As long as this nigga stays healthy, I think we'll make it far. This team, I don't know how they're so highly rated, to be honest, because they're so overrated. It's not funny. They didn't really add anybody good in the offseason. I don't think they signed anybody. Also, they got Dawson Connect. He's pretty good. He's gonna be nice. Other than that, then they got Ronnie James Jr., which I don't know. I don't think he's anything special. He's not that nice. The Magic are gonna be a playoff team. Mark my words. I think they're gonna get real better this season. They got like size and length. Pause. Everybody made and they got KCP, so they got that championship experience, that playoff experience. So they're gonna be a real better team this year. If I could invest in stock in the way you could do, I would invest. I would invest a lot of stock in the Orlando Magic right now. The Mavericks made it to the finals last year, but I feel like other than Klay Thompson, I don't think they're gonna make a. I don't think they're gonna repeat that success they had last year because the West is getting better. They got better teams out in the West, so it's gonna be pretty tough. But as long as they have Kyrie and Luka, and they both stay healthy, I think anything's possible. But I don't think they can beat the Knicks or 76ers or the Celtics if they were to ever to make the finals again. This is going to be easily the worst team in the NBA and probably in 2K overall. The only I would say the only bright side of this team is Cam Thomas, but he's still pretty young. But other than that, like this team, there's no direction. They still got my boy Ben Simmons, but I think he wants to be more of a fashion model than a actual NBA player, which is crazy. Oh, they got Zaire. The Denver Nuggets, they're not making the finals ever anytime soon. I mean, they still got Jokic. Jamal Murray has kind of downgraded a little bit. He's not what he used to be a couple years ago. Aaron Gordon's still a good defensive player. Michael Porter's still a shooter. They got Westbrook for some reason. I'm not sure how he fits in the team. I don't know. I think they signed him or they traded for him, but I don't know what Westbrook be doing. He should have went back to OKC or something because he does not fit in this team at all. They got Christian Braun to replace KCP, but I mean, I think he's pretty good. He got some height and he can shoot the ball pretty well, but I don't know, his defense pretty decent, but KCP is I think going to be a big loss for them. And other than that, this team is not too impressive to make it to the finals, I think. The Pacers are a pretty surprising team last year. I think with the addition of Pascal, they became more dangerous. But I feel like they're missing something. They're missing like that scoring guard type of player. And I think Benedict Mathurin was supposed to be that scoring guard, but he kind of downgraded as well. So we'll see what happens with this team. I mean, they beat the Knicks, so they're a pretty good team. The Knicks were also hurt that series, so I'm not surprised. The Pelicans are a sleeper team always because of Zion. If he can stay healthy, then they can go probably make it to the finals or deep in the playoffs. They got DeJounte Murray. We'll see how he fits in this team, but I'm not too sure how much better that his addition makes them. Brandon Ingram is an underrated player. Easily can score 20 points a game. But it seemed like in the beginning of the season they wanted to trade him away, but I guess he's staying put. This team has a good bench. They don't have size in the paint, so I don't know how they're gonna do with defense and rebounding. Their starting center is Daniel Tice, and he's not even 6'10", so I'm not sure how that's gonna work. So this is a sleeper team, but I don't think they're gonna go crazy, and they're not making any noise in the playoffs. The Pistons, a very weird team, how they were constructed. They drafted Ronald Holland, but they already have a whole bunch of athletic wings, and I feel like they need to spread the floor more. So they got Tobias Harris. I'm not sure how he's still getting paid all this money. Like I need to hire his agent because that's ridiculous. And they got Malik Beasley, but Malik Beasley is not what he was a couple of years ago. He's still a good shooter, but he's not what he used to be. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a good backup, a good bench player, but that's all he's been all his life is a bench player. So we'll see how this team does. I feel like Jaden Ivey doesn't play well with Cade, so I feel like they might be trading him soon. I thought he was gonna be like the next Ja Morant, to be honest. The Raptors, they got Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett from the Knicks. As a Knicks fan, I really miss Quickley because I miss the scoring off the bench. So on the Raptors, he's a starter, but we'll see how he translates his game to being a starter. Scotty Barnes is always good. He's got to make that next step if they want to make any noise in the playoffs. This team, so nothing really stands out to me. I mean, Grady Dick, he's a good shooter, but I don't know if he's starter potential. For some reason, they drafted another shooting guard, even though they drafted one last year. Jacoby Walton, I'm not too familiar with his game, but he seems like he's a nice player. The Rockets, I feel like they're going to be better this year. It all depends on Jalen Green if he can make it to that superstar status. We know that he can score the ball pretty well. Amen Thompson, he's a good defensive player, but he can't shoot at all. I mean, look at that fucking 3-point percentage. That's crazy. And I think they drafted Reed Shepherd. So I think Reed Shepherd is going to be the best player overall from that draft. It's a weak draft, but I think he's a good shooter, and he's pretty athletic as well. So I feel like this team is going to be way better than last year, but we'll see. The Spurs, they're going to be pretty nice this year, I would say. Like, Wembanyama was already a fucking 91 overall. That's crazy. It's only second year. He's only getting better. They got Chris Paul to bring that veteran presence. I think Chris Paul is going to have a lot of fun playing with Victor. And they also got low key. They got Harrison Barnes. He's a good defensive player, good 3-and-D guy. So I think this team might make noise in the playoffs. This is another sleeper team I would keep an eye out for. And they also got Stephon Castle, which is crazy. That boy is like a 6'7" point guard. He can't shoot, but I'm sure he can develop a jump shot under Popovich's rule. So this team is pretty. I'm going to use this team in 2K, and it's going to be fun. Just based on Chris Paul and Victor pick and roll. You know, if it was 10 years ago, this team probably would have been like a deep playoff team, I would say. The Suns, they still got the big three, quote unquote. But they didn't really get any. They got an actual point guard, so let's see if he starts or if they're going to start Devin Booker. I'm not sure why Devin Booker's a point guard. He's never been a point guard his whole life, so that's why they didn't do too well last season. But they didn't really get anybody noteworthy, I would say. I don't think they have too many draft picks, so they're not getting any younger players. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Bradley Beal is a shell of his former self. I mean, he can score the ball pretty well, but all that money doesn't translate to his production. The Thunder are going to be a scary ass team this year. I think they're always getting better every year, especially with SGA. I think he might win the MVP next season. Chet. He can score. He can shoot. He can block. Jalen's a good scorer, and then they got Caruso, which is like a defensive dynamo, pretty much. Like he can do anything. He's athletic. He can score. He can score the three. He can pass the ball. So, and they got Hartenstein from the Knicks. Yeah, Hartenstein's a good center off the bench. So this team is stacked. Like when you look at it from top to bottom, and they got Topic in this year's draft, so they're not even in a rush to develop him. But he's a 6'7" point guard. It's gonna be crazy the next couple of years. Like OKC might actually win a championship if they keep getting better, and they're just a very young team. So this team is gonna be scary, man. The Timberwolves, it all depends on Anthony Edwards if he can make that superstar next level step. They have pretty much the same team that they had last year. They made a deep playoff run, surprisingly. But it all depends on Anthony Edwards and this guy, Rob Dillingham. I thought Rob was going to be the best player in the draft, but I changed my mind and I switched to Reese Shepard. But this guy's very shifty. He just can't play any defense, and he's very small for his frame. He only weighs 160. I think I weigh 10 more pounds than this guy, and I'm like 5'7", 5'8". The Trailblazers is a confusing team, especially when they drafted Donovan Clingan in this year's draft. Even though they have I think they still got Robert Williams and DeAndre Ayton. So I think they're gonna trade one of them soon, which they really should for like draft picks or something like that. But they need to rebuild this team and trade Jeremy Grant to like the Knicks or something. You know, I wouldn't mind if they traded him for Julius Randle. I think he would be a better fit. I feel like this team has a lot of young pieces, especially with Shaden Sharp and Henderson. But I think they were expecting Scoot Henderson to be like the next Westbrook, and his stats say. I mean, he didn't have too much of a bad year, so I think there's still hope for him. Other than that, I don't think this team is going anywhere anytime soon. The Warriors, they made a big downgrade by getting rid of Klay Thompson, but I think his time there was on a short leash. So I think they got Buddy Hield to replace him, but Buddy Hield is not any superstar, or he can't hold a torch to Klay Thompson and his impact on Golden State. So I don't know how this team is going to do. I mean, they're going to be a fun team to use online, but in the regular season, in real life, I don't think they're going anywhere. And I just found out they don't got my nigga Lester Quinones, Long Island legend. So they're not gonna do that good this year. Last but not least, NBA preview. We got the Washington Wizards. This team is horrible. Probably the second worst team behind the Nets. They'll be pretty fun to use online, but they don't even got Jordan Poole starting. I don't know what happened to him. They got Malcolm Brogdon. He's an underrated player, I would say. They got Kuzma. I mean, the best player is Kuzma. So, I mean, what can you expect from this team? They got Sadiq Bey. I feel like he's underrated, but he hasn't shown anything special. They got the big guy from France, Sarr, but the way he played in Summer League, he played really poorly. So we'll see how that translates. I mean, I think he's still going to be a good player, but I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be Wemby status or anything special. This year's draft wasn't that great, so we'll see what happens. But there's still some good players like this guy, Bub Carrington. I think he's gonna be nice, and Kai Sean George. He's gonna be nice as well. But other than that, go quickly through these legendary teams. I don't think they added any new teams, to be honest, which is disappointing. I really don't think they added any new legendary teams. Which is they got room to add more teams, but they're just being lazy. Yeah, they didn't add any new legendary teams. And then they got FIBA teams, if I'm not mistaken. I don't care about I don't know if they had the FIBA teams, but yeah, 76 is gonna be crazy this year. It'll be a scary team. Good team to use and play now. I picked two teams that are going to reach the finals. I think it's going to be the Celtics again for the East, and for the West, I would have to say. See, the West is complicated, but I think the Thunder are going to reach the finals. You just look at that team. Everybody stays healthy. Everybody's young and they're hungry. They got that playoff experience from last year. So I think it's going to be Thunder and Celtics. That's my pick for the finals. And I think Celtics might repeat, to be honest. But the 76ers, the Knicks are the closest contenders, I would say, to, I guess, topple the Celtics. I hope they do, because I don't want to see the Celtics win another championship, especially back-to-back. I'm getting tired of that.